Welcome to an episode I have here about Mountain House freeze-dried camping or survival food versus just getting a Chunky's Campbell soup. Because I've been a prepper decades ago. I wanted to buy land in Pennsylvania or Tennessee and build a bunker, and shove it full of food and all that junk for no reason at all. And decades later, I'm glad I didn't. Anyways, we're going to compare these two. Oh, actually, I should say, we're missing the soup, aren't we? There it is. So we're going to compare the Campbell's Chunky versus the Mountain House variety. As you can see, I already ate this. We won't be doing a taste test, but we're reviewing the taste tests. I've eaten these all the time. I've never really ventured into the freeze-dried foods, and I did the other day. I was at the Army Navy store buying some stuff and thought, you know what, I'll actually try these. I've seen so many videos of them. I do know hiking, if you do a lot of hiking, your taste buds get really watered out in hiking. And there's like 3 major brands of these. One seems to be fairly tasteless, and the other 2 have more taste to them. I do know after hiking, your taste buds can go into shock if you have a lot of flavor in it. And the one that doesn't have as much taste when you're just eating it at a campground probably wouldn't be very favorable to you, but it may be after a long hike. But anyways, these foods are very interesting. First of all, let's review price. This Mountain House from the Army Navy store was $10.75. I know at Walmart it's like $1 less. Whereas at Walmart, this can of creamy chicken and dumplings was $2.26. So you can really get about 4 of these for every one of these. So you gotta wonder, like, why? You may say this is heavier, but you got to remember this doesn't have water yet. This is bulkier, but you got still take water with this one. So let's actually weigh them, because we now know that we can get 3 of these for one of these. Nutrition facts. We're going to review nutrition facts real quickly. Nutrition wise, they're both very close to be the same, except a calories per serving. Well, the Campbell's is 170, 370 in the container. And of the Mountain House, calories is 300 or 600 in the container. The other thing you may say is these are a lot easier to cook. You just have to boil water. But think of it this way. If you have to boil water, you're using a container like this, right? You could just pour this into the container and heat it up by itself. Or if you're a real Cub Scout, Boy Scout, you could just, pop a couple holes in here or crack the lid and put this in the campfire on the edge of it in the coals and cook it that way. Don't even need a container. So both have their advantages. Boiling water, or just using the container itself, or the container you would boil water in. Let's get to it. Real quickly, the weight in grams of the Campbell's Chunky comes out to 607 grams. Now I'm using a chicken teriyaki because I ate the chicken one. But this by itself is 141 grams, but it's missing the water. So we need 1.5 cups of water. Creamy chicken actually requires 1 1/3 cups of water. So we're going to basically fill this up just above the 1 1/4 cup here. We're going to reset this to 0. Now we're going to fill it full of water. There's basically 1 1/3 cups of water. Now, of course, I should mention the teriyaki takes 1 2/3 cups of water. So it'll vary depending upon the food that you have. Of course, the Campbell's chunky soup may weigh approximately the same no matter which one you get. But this comes out to 343 grams. Let's move this over a little bit. We'll add this to it. And we get 484 grams for both of them. Of course, we left out one thing. If we wanted to boil water, we would need a container, which is another 182 grams. Forgot I had that set for water. This container is actually 218 grams. So looking at the benefits of freeze-dried food versus canned food, the other option you got to think about is, what do you do with the leftovers? Well, if you have a Ziploc bag, you just throw this in the Ziploc bag after you're done eating from it, or you may eat it from there if you want. With this, you say, oh, it's kind of big, but if you got your hiking shoes or boots on, if you just push down here or make this flat, then you step this way and you have a nice flat can on your hands. Put it, crushing a can. First you knock it over. Next you crush it down. Next you push it down again. And it's nice and flat. In the same Ziploc bag. No big problems there, right? Anyways, I hope that brings up what you would do. Do you buy something for $10 or do you buy 3 or 4 cans of this to take on your hike? Which one is more convenient? Do you boil water, add it to this, or do you just heat this up or in a container and eat it this way without having boiling water? Which way would you go? Would you go regular Campbell's or Mountain House? Because I know that I actually just use these myself. And when you talk about taste, I will say this Mountain House chicken and dumplings was creamier than the creamy chicken and dumplings. But the dumplings in the Mountain House were more like soggy croutons, whereas the dumplings in the chunky Campbell's was more like the dumplings you would expect. Not like the dumplings Grandma used to make, but it's pretty good in here. And of course, this food hasn't been freeze-dried, so it's not going to re-expand and may have some funky textures to it here and there. So for me, carrying cans of soup is better than the Mountain House packages, which you still have to carry the water, so you're still carrying weight, like I mentioned. What would you do? What do you do? And have you ever taken cans of soup or cans of food with you hiking? I should also mention, if you are a prepper, then the Mountain House, this I just bought, has an expiration of March 2052. I'll probably be dead by then, huh? Whereas the can is May 30th, 2024. So this basically has a 2-year shelf span, and this has a 30-year shelf span. Good thing, because you buy this today for $10, in 20 years you can probably sell it for $25. Anyways, I hope that brings a lot of questions to Mountain House versus Campbell's Chunky. What would you do? You know, a couple options there. Myself, I've always used soups because it comes with the water. Don't have to hydrate it unless you get some like Campbell's chicken soup, then you have to hydrate it. But it was interesting trying one of these for the first time. I'm going to try chicken teriyaki and make another video about it, but it takes even more water, as I mentioned before, than this one. Give it a thumbs up and like it. I hope you enjoy this. If there are any things you want me to test like this, it'll be fun to do it. These videos are fun. We'll see you later.